Hey everyone! How is everybody doing tonight? It's October, it's cold, and I just got back from vacation, so let's start things off, shall we? Whoops. Sorry about that. Hold on one second. Thank you very much. MJD. Subscribed for 7 months. There we go. Alright, so this is an indie game. It is published by Isbrig Games, and it is basically based on Japanese folklore as well as Lovecraftian horror. And in case you're wondering, yes, the graphics are supposed to look like that. And in any case, let's take a look. We are going to start a new story. Would you like to customize your next playthrough's look? There are many color palettes and display modes to choose from. So this is the 2-bit and 1-bit. And then we're just cycling through the different color palettes here. I think I'll go for this one. If that's your first time playing World of Horror, it is recommended that you start with the spine-chilling story of School Scissors option before trying more complex playthroughs. A tiny section of a standard playthrough. Okay. City of Shiokawa, Japan, 1980X. Something strange is happening in our town. Well, I wanted to show you guys some new acquisitions that I made while I was on vacation. First of all, I got myself a new Pulip. This is Pulip Dalgi. It's a Mori Girl themed Pulip. Dalgi means strawberry in Korean, and she originally came out in 2010. And pulipstyle.com, which is a website that I use for a lot of my Pulip doll orders, they got one back in stock, so I got it. And in fact, my husband helped me out with a little bit with it, so thank you, sweetie. Mwah. And then the next thing that I got, well, hey, Ultra Quinox, thank you for the subscription. 2 months. Have a great day. So this is another thing that I got while I was on vacation. I went to visit friends of mine that was out of state, and we stopped by a place called Fabric and Friends in somewhere, I forget exactly where in Maryland, but this is the official Keep Calm and Carry a Smart Doll dog tag that I finally got for Isabelle. It's going to be part of one of her Halloween costumes. And then what she's wearing on her back is something that I got from a store called Little Thingamajigs. It was specifically in the Ellicott City, Maryland store, and it is a Hello Kitty themed mini Ida bag, which is great because it is perfectly proportioned for a 1/3 scale doll. And then finally, I got Ashley, a new outfit. This is a 1/4 scale doll outfit, and her wig slipping. This is from a company called Dollheart, and it's just it's a little kitty-themed dress with a pair of bloomers underneath, and I found it at that same doll store where I got the dog tag, and decided to buy it. So those are my major acquisitions, doll-wise. And I also got myself some DS games. We went on a little treasure hunt to a lot of the different used game stores in the area, and I found a couple of games, and I'm pretty sure you can probably guess the theme as soon as I show them. This is the first one. It's called Happy Cooking, and it's one of those games that was released under the Imagine series by Ubisoft in Europe, and it was developed by Japanese developers and licensed by Ubisoft for Western release. So it actually has some cute mini games and some relationship stuff in it. Then I got this game, which is America's Test Kitchen Let's Get Cooking. And it's, if any of you know about personal trainer cooking for the Nintendo DS, this is kind of the American version of it, in the fact that it's got the same structure as personal training cooking, but all of the recipes on here are for American audiences. They can't be scaled up or down, which is the major bummer, but all of them are really great. And then finally I got this game, Gourmet Chef, which is another game that Ubisoft put out in 2008. And it apparently was developed by a French company and was originally released in France. We also went to a couple of Japanese grocery stores and goods stores. So here's the first thing I got myself. I don't know if you all know about Poppin' Cooking candy kits, but this is the sweets party from Poppin' Cookin', and you can make a cake, a tart, and some jelly. And then this one is for Eastern sweets. You can make a taiyaki, some mitarashi dango, and an ichigo daifuku, along with some ramune soda. And of course, I love my Japanese candy. I got myself some candy liquid, which you mix it up and it becomes grape flavored. And then I got the ever popular Neru 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 Ne, which is a science experiment. And let's see, more things that I got. We went to a store called Rumi Life. They have one in the Towson Mall, and it has the most adorable assortment of stationery and goods there. I mean, if you're into pens, if you're into cute stuff, if you're into cute housewares, if you're into cute notebooks, you're gonna absolutely love it here. And this is a notebook that I got. Sweet Tea Time. And the pages, some of them are in full color, some of them are black and white, but it is so freaking adorable. And then, every so often, there were some hidden treasures, like real keychain for my Ida bag. Alright, so anyway, without any further ado, we are going to go to the city of Shiokawa, Japan in 1980X, where something strange is happening in our town. Robed figures can be seen gathering in the woods at night. People are going missing. Disgusting creatures are terrorizing the seaside. The rapid technological progress of the modern era brings comfort, but also new unknown threats. Old gods, malicious eldritch beings who ruled the earth eons ago, are awakening as reality starts to crumble. Armed with clues, spells, and your dwindling sanity, you'll investigate mysteries across the city and in realms beyond. An old train slows down and stops at its last station. The end of the world is at hand, and you've finally arrived in the doomed town. The story so far. Welcome to World of Horror. Important messages will appear here. Okay, so I'm guessing this is me right now. So here is the story so far. It's May 31st, 1984. You've been following the weird cult for weeks now. Barely surviving the encounter with the skin hag at the nursery, it's a race against time and you can't rest until our town is safe. Spine-chilling story of school scissors. Another boy from your school has disappeared. Rumor has it, a terrible woman has returned from the grave. A woman with the widest smile and the sharpest scissors. You knew your friend was up to something when he left you his notebook full of cryptic notes. I can send her back where she belongs, he claimed. After he disappeared too, you decided to study the notebook for clues. It details a ritual that can stop the wicked woman once and for all. What's the worst thing that can happen? The school is eerily quiet at this hour. Your missing friend has left you a notebook. If the rumors are true, to stop the tall woman with scissors, you'll need to perform a ritual to force her material form to appear in our dimension. Accomplishing this requires first the drawing of an eldritch sigil and then the lighting of holy candles. You can only hope your friend has left them somewhere around the school. Okay, so access your storage, explore the school, perform the ritual, check out school lockers. So let's see, let's check our storage. And it looks like the only thing we've got is our friend's diary. This sigil can weaken the demon for a while, careful with the lines. Maru is acting strange. I need to talk with her after class. I hope she didn't attempt the ritual herself. I've hidden the candles in one of the classrooms. Tomorrow I will try to perform the ritual. Okay, let's check the lockers. What's that? You found a new item. Wooden bat. You need a tiny key to open this locker. Investigating schoolyard. Impossible angles and seemingly moving lines make your head spin. How is this possible? You feel like something horrible is happening within the school. You must hurry and find those items. Suddenly, everything slows to a crawl. Ugh! Fill the combat sequence white bar with combat moves and click the launch sequence to attack your enemy. Okay, so kick, attack with your weapon, strong attack, prepare your attack, need a firearm, attack boost. Okay. Alright, let's see. feel older and weaker. Time Warper steals some of your lifespan. Oh boy. Alright, we've defeated the Time Warper. You found an additional page from your friend's diary. It seems that the blessed chalk was left in the pool. You must hurry and find it. To open the door, click on the handle and drag the mouse with the mouse button pressed. Okay. Ah! You shouldn't risk that again. You enter the damp-smelling sport room. You notice a backpack drifting on a swimming board in the middle of the pool. Could it be what you were looking for? You enter the pool and start swimming towards the backpack. Suddenly, the water turns murky, and you realize you're not alone in the pool. A bloated figure emerges from the murky water, blocking your only way out of the pool. Bloated teacher has been defeated. You found blessed chalk, which you can use to draw the sigil in your ritual. You copy the sigil as best you can on the blackboard. Hopefully, it'll be enough. Okay, so we need to find the candles. As you enter the school gym, you notice a strange black doll propped up against the wall. Against your better judgment, you approach the doll. What you see makes you gasp in horror. The doll isn't a doll. Your sudden movement causes tiny black spiders to flee, revealing a white, half-eaten corpse. The sound of scissors is getting louder. You must hurry. You hear a faint sound while walking inside the biology classroom. Inside is an old anatomy model, its heart beating. The sight almost makes you sick. You found the holy candles in your friend's backpack. You lit them as instructed by the notebook. Everything is ready for the ritual. Wait, what's that? The sigil and holy candles don't seem to have any effect on the horrible monster. Had you drawn it wrong? Frozen in fear, you watch as the twitching horror gets closer and closer. It raises its enormous scissors and croaks. Am I beautiful? Twisting and twitching, the demon woman enters the classroom, cackling menacingly. Am I beautiful? Been stabbed by the scissors woman. Ah, missed twice. Scissor Woman stabs you, covering the wall in blood. Not looking good. You've defeated Scissor Woman. Ancient horror lies dead on the classroom floor, slowly dissolving into nothingness. The only thing left of her are the large scissors. You stare at them, unsure what to feel. Something tells you you want to keep them. You need them. Very slowly, you pick up the scissors and your mouth widens in a smile. Spine-chilling story of school scissors, ending B. Okay, so that's the first story. Let's see what else there is. Okay, so we're gonna go into, let's see. We're gonna go into extracurricular activity. This option will prepare the standard skeptic playthrough for you, allowing you to start the game without worrying about in-depth stuff for now. Okay, City of Shiokawa, Japan, 1980X. Something strange is happening in our town. Robed figures can be seen gathering in the woods at night, people are going missing, disgusting creatures are terror, blah 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 blah. Kathak Atarasu is once again awakening from its slumber. Blinded by its impossible to satisfy hunger, it has started to tear down the walls of its cocoon prison. Stop it before it devours us all. Old gods rule, you can't escape from combat encounters. Alright, so we got our character. Welcome and thank you for trying World of Horror. Inspired by adventure games from the 80s, the visual overload may be a little disorienting in the beginning. In this short tutorial, I'll do my best to explain various elements and prepare for you to fight the horrible old gods. Powell, creator of the game. That's the main game screen. Here you will interact with your surroundings, solve mysteries, and fight enemies. All performed actions will be added to the log here. That's you on the right. World of Horror has RPG elements, and your attributes are described by 6 basic stats. Move your mouse over them to learn more. So we've got Strength, Dexterity, Perception, Knowledge, Charisma, and Funds. Reason is your stability and will to confront the horrors. Once it reaches 0, your character collapses and the game ends. Stamina represents physical health. Once it reaches 0, your character dies. That's your inventory. You can keep up to 4 items. Click here to inspect or use or equip anything you pick up. There are 3 equipment slots. Equipped items do not count towards the 4 weapon items limit. A is weapon used in combat, B and C are trinkets and armor. As you progress with your playthrough, more helpful tips will appear. Would you like to turn the combat tutorial on? It will start during your first enemy encounter. I'm going to leave it off. Okay. So we've got our character. She doesn't have any rituals active and is not carrying anything. So let's check out our home. You check your mailbox. It's empty. I don't like the sound of that. Back in your home, you think of your next move. You are not currently investigating any weird mystery. Recent newspaper clippings and notes collected in the next room should point you in the right direction. Watch TV, take a bath, change clothes, start a new mystery, get back to the town screen, take a peek through peephole, access your storage, custom mysteries. So let's see what's happening on the TV. We are shocked after what she did. Her voice was always so calm. Inexplicable and morbid events have been plaguing your town for some time now. You've marked down 5 of them, hoping that there is something connecting them. You can tackle these 5 mysteries in any order you want. Beware, your decisions will haunt you and influence yet unsolved mysteries. Alright, so we've got 3, 4, okay. Alright, so here are, let's see, alarming account of abnormal arts, eerie episode of evolving eels, freaky feature of found footage, tranquilizing tale of the Twilight TV terror, and chilling chronicle of a crimson cape. So who wants to vote on which one we should do? So we've got A, E, F, T, and C. Okay, we've got 1 vote for found footage. Anybody else? Bueller? Bueller? Okay, we'll do the found footage. 3 students disappeared in the process of making a documentary about local folklore and legends of the nearby forest. Now, on the 1st anniversary of the event, a suspicious man has started asking questions. He claims to be a private investigator hired by the parents of the students. Except the parents of your friends didn't hire him. Who is he, and what did the students discover out there? To advance this mystery, investigate the circled location. As you progress, the location and rules may change. Okay, so, gonna travel to the school and investigate. Wait, why is it suddenly so dark outside? You stand by the window to take a look. Black smog emerges from the courtyard, coating everything in an oily vapor. I'm getting the hell out of here. You run from the window before anything happens. You feel the gaze of a librarian. Many of the books you can find here were donated after the accident at the university building. You carry out a few books to the main reading room. You decide to make some notes about subjects that could be relevant in this case. Hopefully all your work won't go to waste. You carry out a dusty old tome to the main reading room. Interpreting the old and complete translations is a tedious task. Finally, you find a fragment you were looking for. You've learned a new spell, Flesh Regrowth. Ah, it's a dog! So, you can get salt to use against ghosts, cigarettes, an energy drink, a flashlight, decided to buy that, a sewing kit for medicine, and a backpack, and then there's a thing called a Yakuza card. Also, by the way, boop, 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 boop. And I got a milk bottle. Okay, I'm gonna investigate the downtown. It's been almost a year since a childhood friend moved away to another city. He left suddenly without even saying goodbye. In a recent letter, he apologized for the disappearance and asked you to remove the furniture from his flat because he wants to sell it. In the envelope, you find a key to his apartment. Well, let's see. Tasty milk. Moo Moo brand. Well, let's use the flashlight. That's why we bought it. You shine your flashlight in the dark closet and something glitters at you. You grab it as the moving company enters the house. Plus item. Corpse dust. Everyone in the village is unsettlingly friendly. An old farmer points you to an old stone. These missing groups supposedly started their forest trip there. No one answers when you knock at Professor Takeuchi's door. This is odd, since he's normally punctual about his opponents. The smell of blood tells you that something's wrong, and you quickly open the door and make your way inside. There's no sign of the professor, but the quantity of blood everywhere leaves little doubt as to what happened. But how, and why? You notice a book lying on the floor. You pick it up to find that 4 pages have been torn out. You memorize the title of the book. Why would someone take them, and what did they contain? In the forest, you hear faint whimpering in the distance. When you find it, you discover a wild dog held by the hind leg in a bear trap. The dog growls menacingly when you get closer. I'm gonna help it. You free the injured dog. Thankful, the animal follows you. And we've now gained an ally. You find a pile of human teeth lying on a nearby rock. Oh, there's the dog. You wonder what kind of animal the spider caught in its web. You scare away the annoyed predator and rip open the cocoon to reveal a human finger. You discover an old campsite located on the edge of a small clearing. The tent has been knocked down and the food and utensils have been scattered everywhere. Alright, I'm going to investigate the ground for clues. Footprints and tracks suggest a fight. The owner of the tent must have been dragged by 2 unknown attackers into the woods. Following a trail of rotten fruit, you stumble on a small forest shrine. It's probably dedicated to some local spirit. The small statue looks alien and menacing. Ooh, okay. Do I destroy the shrine or do I pray? I mean, I gotta be respectful, so... Kneeling by the shrine, you discover a small piece of paper tucked behind the statue. A parasitic organism burrows under the bark, undulating slowly. The bark is flabby and sticky. It makes you recoil in horror. The rumored witch house seems empty. In the basement, however, you find a camera pointed at the large hole in the ground. On the table next to the camera, you see 3 cassettes, each titled after one of the missing friends. Then, you hear a curious sound coming from the hole. Should we take them and run, or should we look inside? You kneel down and lean forward to see what's inside the hole. It takes a while to process what you are looking at. It is a gigantic eye staring right at you. Hypnotized, you continue to lean in, feeling weaker and weaker as the gargantuan beast lures you in. At the very last moment, the suspicious tall man grabs you by the collar. He explains that he is part of a cult protecting the house and the mysterious entity below it. You've got a bigger purpose than to die here, he says, before knocking you out. You wake up a few hours later on a bus heading back to your town. Freaking feature of found footage, ending B. Rewards for solving this mystery. I, the forest is restless. Knowledge is key, 30 experience. There's still hope, -5% doom. Tireless, 1 reason, stamina. Time passes, 1 day. The old god stirs. Freaky flood. Did the water level suddenly increase, or is our city slowly sinking? Inside your mailbox, you find a small key. What is it doing in there? Weird, nothing happens. Okay, so we've got alarming account of abnormal arms, eerie episode of evolving eels, chilling chronicle of a crimson cape, and it looks like we've only got 3 this time, so I think we're gonna go with the eerie episode of evolving eels. While returning to your home, someone suddenly bumps into you. Did you know? You turn around. It's your friend living in the same apartment complex, Kana. That weird dude is back. You know, the one who studies fish? You shrug, opening the door. Kana follows, and immediately enters the kitchen. A while later, they return with 2 cans of soda. Aren't you curious what weird fish did he bring this time? They grin. Okay, so you decide to enter a small, shady bar in the docks. Maybe some of the old fishermen can help you in their quest. However, persuading them to do so might prove difficult. You can either try talking to them or buying them around. I'm going to see if I'm able to buy them around. No fisherman would refuse a free round. They tell you tales of sunken cities inhabited by underwater things with too many legs. The town's docks are a mix of modern warehouses, small shops, and bars where the alternative crowd gathers. An ancient wooden temple occupies the small hill at the town's center. So we can look for a warehouse job, try to recruit allies, or pray at the temple. So I'm thinking I want to try praying at the temple. It doesn't matter if you believe or not. The smell of burning incense and old wood calms you down. You may be going crazy, but you can swear something is watching you from the sea. Putting your hand in that hole was a bad idea. Seeing the big spider escape, you hope it wasn't poisonous. Oh, and we've got enough experience to level up. Oh, you can talk to the dog. Dog is wagging its tail. Okay, so you advance to the next experience level. Choose one perk and one stat upgrade. So let's see. Available perks. Discipline, leadership, or a hot bath. So let's see. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to... Let's see. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a strength, and I will up my stamina. No, I can't do that. Okay, so discipline, regain 1 stamina for all past event skill checks. 1 charisma, natural ability to guide others. Improved resting at home. So I think what I'll do is I'll do the regain 1 stamina. And I will add another point of strength. So, there we go. Alright, we are going to go to the school and check things out. Got another spell, Expel Evil, and I'm going to get some notes. It's been so hard to get any sleep lately. Have you heard about this computer program that if 000 didn't do those drawings, then who did? Hadouei seems visibly shaken by your story. It's just a story, right? The investigation is taking a toll on you. You start to miss the most obvious leads. The neighbor's office at school was empty. You did find a few jars, all filled with weird eel-like fish. Despite your protests, Kana decides to take 1 jar home. Have you ever seen an eel like this? It's so freaky. Don't you have a feeling it's watching us? loud knocking wakes you up in the middle of the night. "Open up!" shouts the deep voice from behind the door. "I know you're there!" Before you can answer, the door's letterbox suddenly opens and an unknown invader tries to look inside. Luckily, you manage to stand still. After a couple of minutes, the man retreats, probably unsure if you're home after all. As you prepare a bath, you think about all the possible leads so far. You're very tired, so maybe ice-cold water is a good idea. Nah. The hot bath is so inviting that you've spent an extra hour in it. Kana was right. Someone tried to burn some papers. They must have been in a hurry because some of the papers look salvageable. You both return to your apartment and try to decipher the notes. Legend from the prefecture eels tell of a small village of robbers who would kill all visitors and dump their corpses into a lake full of eels. Eels of the prefecture would lay their heads inside human. Oh boy. Excuse me, do you have a moment to talk about our real Lord and Savior? The day of reckoning is coming, says the voice on the other side of the line. You definitely don't like the way the man on the other side of the line puts an accent on real. Hello? Are you still there? You put down the phone a little shaken up. Just how many people did that odd man call today? Okay, I only have 2 funds, so let's see. I've already got a flashlight, so I think maybe I will buy myself a hammer. Ocean is hungry. You're stopped by a person with a knife. They look incredibly sad. It wants me, but I'm afraid I'm too much of a coward to do it myself. Can you help me? Oh boy. Okay, we gotta talk them out of it. Unable to convince the person, you close their eyes as they jump off the cliff. Thinking about how stupid it is of Kana to try and break into your neighbor's apartment, you go to sleep. You spend an entire day waiting for Kana. Where the hell are they? She said she would do everything to be with you, even if it meant to cheat death itself. Ah! Stalker girl! Wait, what's that? An occult diary. I burned it down. You cautiously enter your neighbor's kitchen. You are shocked to see countless jars filled with eels, flailing around relentlessly. Where the hell is Kana? A swollen body of your neighbor is rotting away inside putrid, murky water. Both his eyes are missing with countless tiny blood trails leading from them in all directions. You finally find Kana. I found the neighbor, but when his eye burst, I slipped on the blood and lost consciousness. I'm afraid there's something in my own eye now, too. We must go to a hospital, or we must puncture their eye now. You rush to the hospital with Kana, getting a lot of attention from horrified people. Your friend is taken immediately to the operating theater, and you collapse on a chair in the waiting area. When you wake up, it's already night. Trying to ask about your friend, you are met with weird reactions, as if she never existed. You rush to the operating theater yourself, but are stopped by armed policemen. Whatever happened, the doctors must have been too late to help. You still process the events of a previous night. Corpse-eating eels that lay their eggs and eyes. Sitting before your apartment building, you watch the police officers emptying your neighbor's place. You wonder if you will ever hear from your friend again. Eerie episode of Evolving Eels, Ending B. Rewards for solving this mystery. Knowledge is key, 30 experience. Thorough investigation, 15 experience. There's still hope, -5 to doom. Tireless, +1 to reason and stamina, and +1 day. The old god stirs. Dangerous bands of rioters are gathering around downtown area. The police are hopeless. A feeling of paranoia and discomfort is almost palpable in the air. Alarming account of abnormal arms. Chilling chronicle of a crimson cape. Let's see. Alarming account of abnormal arms. I remember when it started. The woman next door was strangled to death in her bed, with no sign of forced entry. The killer was never found, and the apartment remained vacant. As part of the therapy, some patients took part in art classes. Some of their work fills you with dread. It's a bad time to be out of cash, says the grim-looking man who's standing in your way. Our company, fortunately, specializes in cases like yours and will gladly help you get back on track. After all, he takes a step closer, and you can swear there is a faint smell of rust around the man. Everyone has something to sell. So there's a jar of blood, a fondest memory, and peace of mind. So I think... everything suddenly gets dark. You feel sad, but you can't even tell why. In your pocket, you find an envelope with cash inside. Anatomical Museum Archives displays a specimen with elongated arms and jellified bones. Let's go visit Doggy. Doggy! Boop, boop. I will get the backpack. When you enter a metro car, you notice an oddly shaped package on the seat opposite you. It's marked with your name. You reach for the package but hesitate, an icy feeling settling into the pit of your stomach. Finders keepers. It's not until you've unwrapped it that you understand what it is. Shocked, you let it fall to the floor from your bloodied hands. You hear rustling on the other side of your apartment door. Someone is trying to get in. Ah! An apartment stalker! You've sustained a new injury. Concussion. Oh, lovely. Oof, finally. Wait, what's that? A baseball bat. When you stop by home to pick up your lunch, you find a pile of letters in your mailbox. Out of money. Mr. Triple O, your neighbor, is a horror manga artist. He's struggling to come up with a satisfying ending for his most recent story. Incredible! He shouts in excitement. How do you come up with this stuff? Sensing his story will be a huge hit, he pays you a token of appreciation. And an infected wound, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the hospital. Feeling like you are on the brink of losing your mind, you decide to visit your parents' old friend, Father Yasuki. Hey, kiddo, says the priest who's currently moving some boxes in and out of the church building. Could you lend me a hand? Lifting the box, you feel your back aching, but you manage to get it all over with relatively quickly. Afterwards, Father Yasugi invites you inside for a cup of hot tea and home-baked cookies made by one of the parishioners. You explain your situation to him. The priest listens, letting you vent all of your doubts and anxiety. Aww. Not wanting to wait for an elevator. Oops. Oh dear, I skipped past that. Okay. A ghost enemy. Oh dear. Get out. Ask your ally to distract the enemy. Phew! I'm gonna put my reason back up and then, let's see, art knowledge, leadership, or a hot bath. I'm gonna add my perception. Despite your best efforts, you feel like the neighborhood is starting to change. Location's threat level increases. You enter the dark boiler room and trip over the pipe. Cursing, you find a light switch and gasp in horror. It's not a pipe at all. It's a long rubbery arm coiling around the room and ending in a ventilation shaft. Coming closer, you can smell something vile and rotten. You almost fall to the ground when you see the wide-open stare of the dead pervert, his elongated limbs stretching and disappearing in the vent's darkness. Inside his mouth, you find a tiny key. After the police have arrived, the whole building was searched. Following the arms, the detectives find the body of a man stuck in a ventilation shaft. Later, he is identified as the building caretaker. In his closet, police find pieces of underwear and voyeur photos of the tenants. The old god stirs. The air feels heavy, making it hard to breathe. One last mystery, chilling chronicle of a Crimson King. A new game is spreading among your friends. A dare to stay in the unused school restroom after classes. A dare to eat meat akamanto. What was originally a harmless fun has turned deadly. The body of a boy was found last week. The school principal has banned the game, but that has only made it more popular. Akamanto must be stopped before another kid is killed. When Akamanto asks which paper do you want, you must refuse anything. Did you hear there's a cliff nearby with strangely shaped holes? She hasn't come to school since last week. You've heard some variations of the legend. Everyone agrees you can't take anything the man offers you, though. You find an old trophy case set in a seemingly abandoned corridor. Everything inside is covered in a thick layer of dust. One medal seems particularly valuable. Using a key you find, you open the trophy case and take an odd golden goblet without a plaque. It looks ancient. What was it doing in school? The only metro in your line in your town connects the university and the science complex. You could take a ride to gain some time, but you've got a feeling something is wrong. Where are all the people? The investigation is starting to take a toll on your health. You feel like you're about to fall asleep standing up. How do you address your weakened state? The world may be falling apart, but you really needed that. Hearing footsteps, you turn around. Behind you stands a pretty woman in a sweater. Natural beauty. Yes, this is exactly what I need. You shudder seeing the weird woman reaching to her pocket and grabbing a nasty-looking knife. Pretty face. Mind if I borrow it? Ooh. Wait, what's that? Lucky earrings. Takahashi! You hear a chipper voice shout during a jog around the area. You turn your head to see another one of your teammates in casual clothes smiling, blissfully unaware of everything going on. What's up, Captain? I'm gonna ask if she's noticed anything weird recently. She shakes her head, throwing her hands up in a shrug. What makes you ask? Something wrong? You tell her not to worry about it too much. You part ways shortly after that. One of the articles mentions a young doctor who performed a life-saving surgery on a victim of a brutal assault. The assault happened in a toilet stall. Maybe he still works in the hospital and can share some information. Dark forces scheme against you. You don't know who you can trust anymore. You learned that the doctor suddenly left the hospital after the latest murder, taking all of the records with him. Why would he do that? That's not the only bad news. Your friend didn't come to school today, and another body has supposedly been found. Despite your best efforts, you feel like the neighborhood is starting to change. The principal has ordered the school to be closed down for the investigation. The corridor is flooded by a black sludge that's slowly oozing from under the door to the chemistry classrooms. A damp, moldy stench grows as you get closer. You see a sudden movement near your ankle just in time to jump from something trying to bite your leg. You make it safely to the other side. There is no turning back now. You step into the last stall and close the door behind you. You wait in the stall, trying to be as quiet as possible. Suddenly, squish, squeak. The sound of rubber boots and an unknown liquid dripping on the tiles. Squish, squeak. You can see the top of his head. He's taller than any man you've ever seen. Squish, squeak. The door slowly opens. A masked man dressed in a red coat, clearly too tall for the ceiling, emerges from outside. Tell me! His voice sounds like a faulty radio. Would you like red paper or blue paper? I don't want anything from you. It's getting darker. The tall man in the red coat slowly takes their mask off as stall walls wither and rot and reality starts to crumble. It's the true form of Akamanto. Something doesn't feel right. In his face, you see all your worst fears. Akamanto is choking you. Whew. When you wake up, you find yourself back in the toilet stall. Thinking it was all a dream, you stand up, only to hear a crack from under your shoe. There lies a broken crimson mask. Akamanto might return one day, but now you know that ancient horrors can be defeated. Chilling Chronicle of a Crimson Cape, ending A. Rewards for solving this mystery. Knowledge is key, 30 experience, thorough investigation, 15 experience. There's still hope, -5 to doom, and time passes +1 day. And we've got a rough level up. Okay, so folklore studies, +1 to knowledge, leadership, and running shoes. So I think I'm going to do folklore knowledge, and I am going to do a a stamina boost. The old god stirs. Winds of plague. A weird epidemic keeps staff at the hospital busy. Skipping the line will cost you more. Alright, so... Ooh, what's that? Local police are helpless as more and more victims with their throats slashed turn up in the downtown area. You finally made it inside the cursed lighthouse. Your gut is telling you two things: that whoever, or whatever, is behind the weird events must be on the highest floor of this place, and that you should run as far as you can. You're afraid there won't be a way back once you start climbing these stairs. Climbing up the stairs. Following the winding staircase, you find a metal gate that blocks your way. A cable that should be powering it is currently disconnected. The power box itself is covered in a weird, moist goo. Just inhaling the fumes makes your eyes itch and water, but to power the gate, you'll need to disconnect a faulty plug. Weird goo burns your fingers, but you quickly manage to separate the faulty plug and connect to the proper cable. With a buzz, the gate opens. You are stopped by a girl wearing a dirty black school uniform. "I'm sorry, but I can't let you go any further," she says, reaching for her bag. It's too late anyway. You instinctively take a step back when you notice a knife in her hand. You have to think fast. You try to talk her into allowing you to pass, but suddenly she raises the knife and slices right across her own throat, nearly decapitating herself. You carefully step over her body. Oh my god, I've got one reason left. Following the winding staircase, you are stopped. Wait a minute. Someone has been taking your photos. They focused on the enemies you fought with. There's something wrong, but you can't precisely say what. Select the enemy you fought as the second one. Your head starts to hurt. Is everything just something you've imagined? The photo suddenly disappears, so does the door, allowing you to continue. Following the winding staircase, you are stopped. Wait a minute. Someone broke into your apartment, stole all clues and newspaper clippings, and printed them here. The more you study them, you discover you can't remember any of them, except one. You rip the newspaper clipping of a case you seem to remember. Underneath it is a tiny button. You press it and, with a buzz, the gate opens. Climbing up the winding staircase, you are stopped by a masked man wearing an expensive suit. The rules have changed, kiddo, he says, taking the jacket and mask off. Nothing personal, really. Ah! Just give up, kiddo. The dark clouds swirl around the lighthouse. Did you arrive too late? As the unnatural fog slowly lifts, you are relieved and collapse on the floor. Congratulations! You're safe. For now. The next day, everything feels like a bad dream. You've managed to stop the ritual awakening the eldritch old god, but what's done is done. It will stir in its slumber again and again, until the stars are right again. Alright, so we've made it through our first playthrough. Let's do a new story, shall we? We'll do a quick play. Okay, so it looks like Kthaq Amaterasu is going to be our opponent again. So let's see what's happening. Alright, what sort of mysteries are happening? Bizarre brute of the blood-curdling botanist. Rotten report of a rancid ramen. Chilling chronicle of a crimson cape. Tranquilizing tale of the Twilight TV terror. Sorrowful saga of the Moonlight Sailors. Eerie episode of Evolving Eels. Okay, I think I am going to go for the rotten report of a rancid ramen. Ramen, whatever. Rotten report of a rancid ramen. Out of thin air, a brand new ramen restaurant opens in town. It's adored by everyone. Once people take a bite, they can't stop. Day and night, the queues stretch out the door. The shambling customers stuff themselves, dish after dish, while the blind owner sits silently behind the counter, grinning and polishing his gleaming knives. Oh great, it's a Sweeney Todd situation. You are determined to discover what makes this ramen so enticing. Was it true? What is its true power? Dog meat? Human meat? Flesh of the gods themselves? You're pleasantly surprised to meet your old friend while waiting for a train. She's undoubtedly changed a lot since you've last seen her. These days, she's moderating a web forum dedicated to the paranormal. Maybe she knows something useful. I'm gonna invite her for a coffee. In between conspiracy theories and Bigfoot sightings, you hear a worrying rumor about an old god slowly awakening to rule the earth once again. You wonder what kind of animal the spider caught in its web. You scare away the annoyed predator and rip open the cocoon to reveal a human finger. Something is wrong. You don't see anyone on the street, and you could have sworn it was crowded just a minute ago. You'd better hurry out of here. You find an envelope lying on a pillow in your bedroom. Inside is cash and a note from someone who has been watching you. They wish you luck in your task and promise to meet you soon. Just how did this envelope end up in your bedroom? Loud knocking wakes you up in the middle of the night. "Open up!" shouts the deep voice from behind the door. "I know you're there!" The man escapes when he hears the police siren, but before he goes, he draws an unfamiliar symbol in blood on your front door. This double frap macchiato is a nice pick-me-up. The smell around the restaurant is overpowering. Grease, rot, and... is that blood you can smell? Hearing footsteps, you turn around. Behind you stands a pretty woman in a sweater. Natural beauty? Yes, this is exactly what I need. You shudder seeing the weird woman reaching into her pocket and grabbing a nasty-looking knife. Pretty face. Mind if I borrow it? Okay. I do not have any weapons, but what I can do is prepare my attack. You sneak into the alley at the dead of night. Gagging, you look inside the restaurant waste. It's a vile pulp. A few chunks of meat look like promising samples, though. Disgusting. Alarmed by the sound of glass breaking, you discover the corpse of a policeman lying in a pool of blood. It looks like someone, or something, tore out his throat. They didn't tear out his throat, but instead carved an occult symbol with something sharp. You try to remember the shape and escape before anyone arrives. The Red Bull is pushed in your face. It's so crowded that you're forced to sit on the floor. While you walk through the crowded space, someone bumps into you and quickly apologizes. You realize what's happening. Before you realize your wallet is missing, the thief is long gone. Oh, darn. With a slipped can, you fill a vial with the soup and walk out without tasting the weird dish. With the pulling of some delicate strings, you get the ramen into a lab. While handing over the gathered material, you hesitate. What should you send to the laboratory? Just the vial or the vial plus the meat? I'm gonna send the vial and the meat. You look at the charts and cannot believe your eyes. While the standard test didn't detect anything weird, adding drops of human blood revealed something horrible. Whatever this thing is made of, it's alive, beating a soft pulse against the glass. Your friend leaves you with the papers, muttering an excuse, and preparing to flee town on the next train. Prepared for a fight, you march down to the restaurant. However, you find no eldritch horror to duel. Instead, you're shocked to find nothing but a gap in the street. You ignore the distraught customers still lining up where they remember the entrance. Investigating the grounds, you see something glisten where the kitchen used to be. Cautiously, you look back at the chunk of meat, and then jump back with a yell. As it flexes, it opens a weary eye, grins, and wanders off on stubby black claws. You walk home shaken. In your head you hear the weird ramen breathing in its bowl. You only stop to throw up on the street. Right. Rotten report of rancid ramen, ending A. So we've got 30 experience for knowledge, 15 experience for thorough investigation, -3 to doom, tireless 1 to reason and stamina, and 1 day passes. Solved. The old god stirs. The whole town stopped receiving any outside signal. It must be the radio mast failure. Hey, Silverstone! Hey! Thank you for the raid! How's it going? We are playing World of Horror. It is a spoopy month, so we are playing spooky stuff. And right now we are doing a playthrough. It's my first time playing World of Horror, which is an indie game, and it's all about Japanese folklore combined with the Cthulhu mythos. Alright, and we got ourselves a new follower. Thank you very much, System Malfunction, for following. Alright, let's see. Alright, we're gonna go back to our bulletin board. Alright, so I think we're going to do the tranquilizing tale of the Twilight TV terror. If you're ever up late these days, unable to sleep and flipping through the TV, Excuse me. You might be unfortunate enough to find a 444 channel. The pale people stand on an empty set, staring into the camera with lopsided smiles, hissing in a language you don't understand. You sit in your bed staring at the flickering blue TV screen. You've missed the damn channel again. A woman jumps out of her apartment covered in gore. Between sobs, she tries to explain what happened. She was taking a shower when suddenly the shower head started spraying blood. A trail of blood leads into the dark apartment. Calm her down or check the bathroom. Dude, I want to check the bathroom. You don't enter the bathroom. Instead, you go straight to the building's boiler room. One pipe coming from the ground looks like it was welded to the central system recently. Where does it lead? Well, it looks like we have a level up. Okay, so we can either add to our stamina and reason or one of our stats, or we can also get a perk. So leadership will add charisma, quick thinking will add to dexterity, and fast swimmer will allow for faster defensive actions. So I'm going to add that, and I'm also going to add one to my perception. The local broadcast station seems like a logical place to start your investigation. You decide to head there early in the morning. While looking around the ransacked room of your recently deceased friend, you discover a half-finished painting of a woman, her skin a ghastly pale yellow color. Unintimidated by the painting, it gives you new insight into the madness that possessed your friend. Ugh. Seeing the two chopped off heads, you can't help but wonder who's been preparing your food for the past week. The notes lying nearby tell of ancient civilizations and unspeakable horror. You've managed to learn an incantation, but the horrifying image will stay with you for a long time. And we've now learned the spell Void. The tired station director sweats and keeps glancing to the side when asked about the weird channel. He preemptorily denies its existence before pushing you out of his office. Just before the door closes, you spot another person standing behind the director. Was he in his office the whole time you were there? Ah, that happened again. Oh, and a nice ring. Alright, so I think I am going to use it to gain some funds. And we're going to go to Doggo Shop. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, so I'm going to get myself a flashlight. Passing by a TV display, it randomly switches channels. You freeze, seeing the pale presenter's face glaring at you. He points at the dark shapes hanging just beside the stage. Are those body bags? The only metro line in your town connects the university and the science complex. You could take a ride to gain some time, but you've got a feeling something is wrong. Where are all the people? Even though the metro car is completely empty, you arrive at your station without any problem, saving valuable time. Staying up all night is almost impossible, and you struggle to keep your eyes open. When the channel comes up, you manage to switch on the DVR just before falling asleep. Finally, you've got real proof of the channel existence. Not wanting to wait for an elevator, you decide to take the rarely used stairs. You suddenly trip but grab the railing in the last second. When you get up to inspect what caused you to trip, you freeze in terror. It is slowly standing up. It's a ghost! Okay, so let's see here. Ooh. Alright, I have defeated the twisted corpse. When you wake up the next morning, the footage is a scrambled mess, but you can swear there are faces hiding behind the static. Feeling desperate, you start combing through the message board, hoping to find some clues. It's past midnight and you're barely keeping your eyes open. Maybe it's a good idea to call it a night. Before you finally collapse, you learn an interesting information about the production of the cursed show. -2 stamina, something changed. You think you've finally found a clue. A forum post about a newly built warehouse in a nearby village. Could it be the place where they broadcast the TV show from? You'll take the last bus and find the studio yourself. A friend returning from a trip to Africa has invited you to dinner. This time they've outdone themselves. This is a real feast full of exotic meals. It's getting late and you can't stay for long, but the host asks if you want to take anything home with you. Do we want steak or wine, or should we refuse politely? You know what? Meat. I knew you'd like it, your friend... I just read the description? Oh, snap. Do y'all know what long pig means? Okay, we've made it to the studio warehouse. You walk through the dimly lit studio, creeping past the props and various equipment, getting closer to the lights in the very center, closer to the hissing noises and canned laughter. You stand just out of sight, holding your breath. The cast stand on a desolate stage, drawing pentagrams on each other. You think one of them catches your eye and you gasp. What happens next is bizarre. The entire cast spots you, but instead of attacking, they run, directly into the camera, disappearing into its lens, like into a portal. You rummage around the set for a while, trying to figure out how they escaped into the camera and any clues to the show's meaning. Ultimately, you find nothing, however. When you get home, you're uneasy about turning on the TV. You take a bus back to Shiokawa, thinking about the cursed channel. Okay, so it looks like I didn't really solve it, but stuff happened. The old god stirs. A weird epidemic keeps staff at the hospital busy. Skipping the line will cost you more. Bizarre Brute of the Blood-Curdling Botanist. Let's do that one. And I think that will probably be the last one that we do for tonight. Your neighbor asked you to help. Her husband, Shiro-san, has gone missing. She is worried it might be connected with the new fertilizer he ordered from Tokyo. Where is he? And why would he need so much fertilizer? You've got a business card of a gardening company where the missing man was working. Maybe some of his colleagues could tell you anything useful? You bump into one of your teammates in the gym. Hey, Takahashi, she says, looking over you with her brows furrowed. Are you doing okay? You've been acting really weird lately and you look super tired. You shouldn't burden her with everything that's going on, but... I would explain myself. You tell her that you're just stressed out because of finals. She expresses some sympathy and offers to help you study. You say, sure, but it's a promise you'll break. It's better that she doesn't know about it for her own sake. You can handle this on your own, just like you always do. With the trail going cold, it might be time for a different approach. Could a similar case have occurred in the past? A trip to the library might be a good idea. It was a complete waste of time. You've spent the whole day reading about cute dogs, giant vegetables, and the occasional accident. You find nothing related to the case at hand. A new yet unidentified species of the cordyceps fungus has been observed to infect rats, taking over their bodies. Could it have the same effect with other mammals? So I've got Aiko's friend joining me. A sudden growl coming from behind a corner makes you stop. Ah! Defeated. Shiro-san has always been a weirdo, but he was good at what he did. Last month he ordered a pack of an experimental fungicide from Tokyo. I think I've seen the dispatch order with an address somewhere, the old man says. Help me move this dirt and I'll look for it. Experts are baffled by the sudden appearance of 20 stone statues lined up in a row in the middle of the OOO Park. You can cast one spell without paying anything. It doesn't look like I have any spells, so I'm just going to resolve this. While the dispatch order is stained with a foul-smelling liquid, you think you can make out the address, or at least parts of it. The house is somewhere in the nearby forest. Following a weird gargling sound, you enter an alley. Standing in the shadow, you notice a person wearing policeman's uniform. Move along, citizen. Nothing to see here. You've made a horrible mistake. Oh gosh, I've got hardly any stamina left. Okay, I can get him. And I've got myself another level. Okay, so folklore studies. What +1 to knowledge. Quick thinking +1 to dexterity. And discipline, regain 1 stamina for all past event skill checks. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to give myself 4 more stamina. It's dark. You don't remember trees growing so close to each other. Drooping tree branches hang over the path, framing it in an almost macabre way. It's almost inspiring. You get completely lost in your thoughts. You wander around the woods for a long time, but you're sure you have some new leads in your investigation. You stumble upon a half-eaten deer carcass. A shape shimmers beneath the surface. With a splashy sound, something emerges from the murky depths. Following a trail of rotten fruit, you stumble upon a small forest shrine. It's probably dedicated to some local spirit. The small statue looks alien and menacing. You topple the evil-looking statue. Nothing seems to happen, but you have a terrible feeling about it. It's said that a famous priest died on this rock. Perhaps his mysticism has seeped into it. Touching it with your hand, you feel a newfound knowledge forming in your mind. So I have now gained a spell, which is Expel Evil. In the forest, you hear faint whimpering in the distance. When you find it, you discover a wild dog held by the hind leg in a bear trap. The dog growls menacingly when you get closer. I am helping it. You free the dog, but the rusty mechanism snaps and the trap closes on your hand. The dirt road you've been following suddenly ends. You have to go back. A sudden storm forces you to find shelter in a nearby cave. Looking around, you discover strange markings on the cave's walls. The flashlight's beam reveals additional symbols hidden in the shadows. They help you interpret the spell instruction drawn on the cave's wall. You have learned a new spell, Knfa Ritual. When your allies die, a random status gets raised by 1. Finally, after what felt like hours of following the dirt road, you find the old mansion. It's completely overgrown with plants you've never seen before. In front of the mansion, there's the gardening company milling van, filled with boxes. Slowly, you enter the building with caution. You stand in the middle of the room when suddenly the floor gives up and you fall down to the basement. Falling through the hole in the floor, you find yourself in an overgrown basement. In the corner lies a man you recognize. It's Shiro-san, the missing gardener. You must help him escape this cursed place. Plants are attacking you. You must protect the injured Shiro-san and lead him to safety. He will continue to lose health each turn. The top of Shiro-san's head flies off, revealing his brain. Out of it, the fruiting body of a fungus. Oh crap, I am not doing well. I don't have any spells that will be able to help me. I'm not going to make it. Warning, you will die at the beginning of your next encounter. fungus-controlled Shiro-san attacks you. You've defeated Shiro-san. The fungus dies, and with it, the gardener. With no body to grow from, you hope that's the end of it. You finally understood something. The plants weren't attacking you. They were protecting you from the unnatural form of life. Weakened, you stumble out of the mansion, hoping to forget. Alright, so we got knowledge is key, thorough investigation, there's still hope, tireless, and time passes. And we got ourselves another level. So I am going to, let's see. I will add quick thinking, and I am going to add some more strength. The old god stirs. Freaky flood. Did the water level suddenly increase, or is our city slowly sinking? Okay, and we got another key. Okay, so looks like we have to choose a new mystery. That encounter was the final straw. Your mind has snapped, and you've been locked up in an asylum. It would be comforting to accept that you were insane, that no old god is awakening to devour humanity. But the drugs haven't made these horrors disappear. And I've perished from loss of stamina. Alright, so that is World of Horror, everyone. So we'll be returning to it to do some more playthroughs. And with that, let me check to see who is streaming. Okay, let's see here. Ooh. I think we are going to raid. Okay, we are going to raid Edward Bosco, who is doing a stream of WWE 2K22. Alright, so everybody, I will be back on Thursday night, and I will be returning to more World of Horror. We're going to discover what's wrong with the world and all sorts of fun stuff, so hope everybody has a great rest of your week. I will see you on Thursday night.